Hey, this is Sporty King, and welcome to Gift Friday. I created it because so often we hear TGIF, thank God it's Friday. But I always say, what allure does Friday have to that person that took their last breath on Thursday or any other day before that, as a matter of fact? So, what I've learned to use is Psalm 92 and 2, which says, "It is good to proclaim your unfailing love in the morning, your faithfulness in the evening." In other words, TGIT, thank God it's today. And then TGIT, thank God it's tonight. You see, when we move the T in TGIF to the end, we find what we really must give thanks for, and that is today. Thus, TGIFT is God is for today. And we should be giving thanks all day. And so Friday is my online sharing of one of my original poems and its possible uses to inspire audiences online or in person. Each poem will then be my gift to you. So here you hear me read it and then share this week's gift. Then you'll be able to click on the link and download your keepsake colorful poem. Now, this Friday is November 27th, and it's the day after Thanksgiving. And you know what? Some will actually stop giving thanks after yesterday. So this week's poem is actually connecting to the meme that I posted today. And the poem is, and I'll read that to you. And the poem is entitled Giving Thanks. You'll find it in my book, I Found Out I'm Living, an affirmation of life. Giving thanks. You won't recognize the angel. His language will be too frank. When you really get God's help, you won't know who you should thank. So make your decision to give thanks now. Keep him worthy of your praise. Don't try to figure out his motives, for ours are not his ways. Have you wondered how you sounded asking for while wasting life? Or have you simply taken for granted that you can do as you please and not suffer consequence until you get tired and decide to seek his help by reflex, call out his name by habit, question your penance? Have you lost your place on the implementation crew, forgetting that only he is on the planning committee, and blinded yourself with jealousy and selfishness? Oh, my brethren, I beg that you do not surround yourself with the worldly misgivings and shortcomings that hoist you atop a throne that can no longer touch the hearts that call for your guidance. See, you won't recognize the angel. His language will be too frank. You won't recognize the angel, nor his concerns for your health. When you really want God's help, let that angel be yourself. And so I actually wrote that poem after watching the movie The Preacher's Wife with Denzel Washington playing me. But you know what? Let's go back to think about the poem. At the beginning, it says, you won't recognize the angel. His language will be too frank. When you really get God's help, you won't know who you should thank. If you saw the movie, and if you haven't, go watch a trailer. It'll probably show you enough of it. But Denzel was the angel that came down to help Whitney Houston's husband, Courtney Vance, who was the pastor of his church, a failing church. And Denzel came down in answer to Courtney's prayer of asking God to help him keep the church alive. And Denzel was crystal clear. He said, hey, yeah, I'm an angel. God sent me. I'm an angel. And Courtney, who was the preacher, the leader, the pastor, the messenger that was being followed by his parishioners, didn't believe it. Didn't believe Denzel, because what he did was he watched Denzel's reaction or his wife's reaction to Denzel. See, his wife recognized the angel. So though she didn't know it, she didn't know what that feeling was, but she was feeling pretty good about it. But Courtney wasn't. So yeah, okay, right, the angel. It didn't dawn on him that this was God answering our prayer. And don't we do that sometimes? We ask for God's help in prayer, and then when he sends it, because we want it to look the way we want it to look, we don't recognize it. So yeah, his language will be too frank. Denzel said, yeah, I'm an angel. And they're like, right. So then the next stanza says, so make your decision to give thanks now. Keep him worthy of your praise. Don't try to figure out his motives, for ours are not his ways. See, we're trying to figure out what God's motives are when we can't. I call it remembering that we're on the implementation crew and only God is on the planning committee. We are here to do God's will, as we learn in the Lord's Prayer. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. So we have to recognize, let that stress. And see, that's what brings stress on our lives, is that we're trying to control something that we have no control over. And that is God's will. So I call it remembering to be on the implementation crew, and don't try to figure out his motives. Why did God bring this person into my life? Why did God do this to me? Don't do it. Just let it go. Not easy to say on a broadcast, hard to do in real life. But when you slip and fall, pick yourself up and think about it, okay? So it goes on to say, have you wondered how you sounded asking for life while wasting life? Or have you simply taken for granted that you can do as you please and not suffer consequence until you get tired and decide to seek his help by reflex, call out his name by habit, question your penance? See, we keep fighting to try to change something that we have no control over. And then we finally surrender and say, okay, God, help me, God. Seeking his help by reflex, call his name by habit. Oh my God, I hope this is going to, question our penance. Why is this happening to me, God? See, those are the things that we do. And we wonder, and that's why I call it, we are asking for while wasting life. We want God's blessing, but we don't sit back and enjoy it because we take it for granted until something happens. And now we're like, oh no, God, help me. No, like Eddie Murphy's joke. Oh Lord, no, God, help me. Anyway, didn't span to say that, so I can't remember the whole joke. Moving right on. Okay. Then it says, and remember, I just reminded you, have you lost your place on the implementation crew, forgetting that only God is on the planning committee, and blinded yourself with jealousy and selfishness? Here's the key in that stanza. See, it's not just about getting angry, but it's staying angry. Are you staying angry at what you cannot control? We're going to get angry. No emotion, every emotion is legitimate. No emotion is wrong. You're going to be angry about something, but are you going to stay angry? That becomes the key. That's something that you can't control. You see, and then it says, and blinded yourself with jealousy and selfishness, which is what Courtney Vance did. He blinded himself with jealousy because he instead of focusing, he was focusing on Denzel's relationship with his wife, with Whitney, instead of focusing on his relationship, of working at his relationship with his wife. And therefore his parishioners' churches. He had the first lady, but if he would worked on keeping their relationship together, that would have been the same as keeping the relationship that the church needed to go forward. So he was letting the jealousy blind him, and therefore he wouldn't accept what Denzel was doing to try to help him keep it together. See, God sent the angel, and we fight the angel because we're jealous of how they seem to be getting things done quicker than we did. Okay? All right. So then it says, oh, my brethren, I beg that you do not surround yourself with the worldly misgivings and shortcomings that hoist you atop a throne that can no longer touch the hearts that call for your guidance. I know you see that already. He's the preacher, and he's forgotten. He's on the, so he's forgotten where he came from. And that's my insistence to you. Don't forget where you came from. Don't surround yourself with the worldly misgivings and shortcomings, that temporary success, financial success, that you forget where you came from and touch the hearts that you were sent to touch. You are somebody's messenger. Don't lose track of that. And we need you to. And that's what he did. And that's why the final stanza says, see, you won't recognize the angel nor his concern for your health. When you really want God's help, let that angel be yourself. And so you are the angel. And when you want God's help, you'll get it. Thus, the meme that I posted today, which said, preach what you practice in case you have to practice what you preach. And then I asked the question, if you're not on my Facebook, you didn't see this. And I asked the question, yesterday, many focused on giving thanks, and being thankful. All three are choices. Then he said 3, he only capitalized giving and being. Right. because giving, and then focus, I didn't put in all capital letters. And so the three are being, giving, and focusing. What will you do to continue giving and being? See, so I could put focus is small because you have to continue to focus to make things happen for yourself and to make them happen for us. So remember, just as you choose, that was from, okay. Come on, thing. Oh, get rid of this. There we go. Just as you choose to act according to a man-made calendar, that's what I call it. Just as you choose to act a man-made calendar, you can choose to act according to God's God-made gift of your life. See, we say, oh, it's Thanksgiving, I got to be thankful. Oh, it's Christmas, I got to all cheer the good men. Oh, it's New Year's, I got to be nice. No, those are choices we make according to a man-made calendar. Let's choose to a God-made gift of your life to give thanks nonstop. And I'm not knocking you. I'm reminding you that you are what and who so many are thankful for. So don't take the lead you're setting for granted. Don't take the lead that you're setting for granted. You're setting a good lead. Somebody needs you to be who you are. You are somebody's messenger. And I want you to give thanks for you and for being the angel that you are. I'm going to post the gift, drop the poem right there in the chat for you right now. There it is. And then you'll get it on. I'll post it in the link on Facebook, on YouTube, and I welcome you to go to sportyking.com, where you can always find my inspirational messages and see the and then YouTube, where you'll see all of my messages in synchronic order. But anyway, hey, have a wonderful weekend. Keep giving thanks, and I give thanks for you. God bless you. This has been Gift Friday with Sporty King.